existence. We want to find a comfort zone. We're constantly looking for security instead of something that will challenge us and make us grow. Finding security is like settling on a permanent personality to live inside. Look, Ma, no joy. Comfort is what the voice of victimization offers us as a tranquilizer, a downer, to get hooked on for life. Meanwhile, our spirit is pacing around inside us like a dog whimpering to go outside and run. The whimpering is sad to hear, and most of us can't stand the sound of it, so we cover it up quickly with sleep, or food, or adult beverages, or smoking, or television, or all of those at once. Most Americans have been programmed to repeat the question, how can I get more comfortable, over and over all day long in their heads. But you can be different. You can commit to making the connection to joy, like you did as a child. You can ask yourself, what could I do today that I know would take a lot of effort? You'll be able to finish a number of your days with the observation, it was hard, but it was fun. What goes in, goes further in. The images and sounds we put into our brains will never leave. They just get filed deeper to influence us forever. Every moment on Earth is important. Every 60-second TV commercial I watch is 60 seconds of my life never to be recaptured. It's 60 seconds I could have spent sending you a postcard. It might have been the postcard to let you know I still cared for you. Pausing after phone calls, I see I have time to make one last call before returning home. My work is finished, so I can call anyone. One friend always cheers me up and shows me life's funniest side. My decision to call him is one of the most important decisions I'll make. Laughter heals and gives added life. Norman Cousins' book about the literal healing power of laughter, Anatomy of an Illness, proved once and for all the powerful effect of laughter and humor on the living cells of the body. We play to an audience of cells. There are things that make me laugh. There are things that make me sing. There are things that make me get up and dance with happiness. These are the things I want to be most aware of in my life. I want to always have them around me and know where to go to get more. There is music that makes me shout, yes, and pound my fist on the dashboard as I drive to work. That's the music I want at my fingertips at all times. I want to pay attention to my spirit. I want to have my spirit be so important to me that any increase in its activity upward gets noticed and noted and remembered for future reference. I want to really get it that I can only reinvent myself by accessing this spirit and letting it stretch me from within. When you become more conscious of how you program your biocomputer, you'll get more of an understanding of what it is that makes you upset and what it is that makes you happy. You'll realize more and more that what you watch, what you read and listen to has a major impact on your spirit. Once you flip on the news and become unhappy for a few moments, you'll understand clearly and consciously that you made yourself unhappy with your own choices and actions. The on-off button is yours. You own it. Soon, you'll take back control of it. And when you do, you'll be on your way to total control of how you program your mind. How you program your mind is what will reinvent who you are. The owner's real leverage in life is in whether she or he exercises optimistic or pessimistic thinking responses. Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and I'll move the world." And he was literally correct. But if you had given him a long enough lever, he could have, by a movement of his hand, tilted the entire planet Earth off its axis. The language we use in our minds and in our conversations is the leverage we've been looking for. An optimist is different from a pessimist in this primary way. He or she is aware of the choice. There are two ways to see everything, the bright side and the dark side. If I see the choice, I own the outcome. If I don't see the choice, I'm a trapped victim. Even something as bad as depression contains a choice. The psychiatrist Peter Breggin, who wrote The Courageous, Talking Back to Prozac, sees something bright in the darkest depression in his patients. Quote, "The depth of their depression reflects the heat of passion burning within them. I explain, the intensity of your suffering reflects the intensity of your life energy. Imagine how fully you will live when you learn to use it creatively." End quote. Inside every victim is an owner ready to live. The first step toward new life is the knowledge that optimism is not a personality trait, it is a choice. Begin today to study your own habitual way of describing situations. When you see that you've taken a pessimistic view, don't condemn yourself or take the absurd position that it's part of your permanent personality. Simply become interested in it. Then experiment with it. Ask yourself, what might be good about this situation? How could this situation make me stronger? By looking at your own life this way, you'll start to experience a new excitement about your own mind. You'll begin to see that your mind was given to you to use to create the person you want to be. Make a decision today to take possession of the most powerful weapon there is in the battle against a mediocre life. That weapon is called practice. And it is indeed a secret to 99.9% of America. Pick it up, and you'll give yourself what feels like an unfair advantage over everyone else you know. Academy Award winner Anthony Hopkins over-rehearses. In preparation for the movie Nixon, his greatest challenge as an actor, he rehearsed each scene more than 100 times before shooting it. I know great salespeople who over-prepare in the same way. They learn so much about a sales prospect's business that the prospect wants to make the salesperson a partner after the first meeting. Selling becomes easy, becomes almost irrelevant compared to the shared enthusiasm of the two people. As a young boy, I became fascinated with the musical Peter Pan. I think I identified with Peter's bold commitment not to grow up. One day my mother read an article aloud to me about Mary Martin, the actress who starred in that Broadway play. Mary Martin used to practice for her big parts in Broadway musicals by putting on boxing gloves and pounding the big bag while singing at the top of her lungs. By singing the songs over and over while hitting the punching bag, she developed an awesome vocal power. Once she could sing her songs while pummeling the bag, they became effortless on stage. In the era before sophisticated microphones were used in plays, Mary Martin was known for her ability to fill a huge theater with her voice. How did this tiny woman, the critics asked, inherit such an enormous voice? It wasn't inherited. It was the result of inspired practice. There is no gene for the human spirit. The human spirit, like a fire, must be lit again each day. We understand fire because we can step back from it and observe it. After a night of camping, we emerge from our tents the next morning and notice with satisfaction that the campfire has gone out. We don't curse the campfire for going out, and we don't think that life is unfair because we have to start another fire for tonight. Yet, we are confused by the human spirit. We think there's something wrong with the universe in which the spirit must be renewed each day. We don't see the gift in that because we don't see that the spirit is like a fire. It is good that the campfire must be relit because it gives you control over the fire. You can start it, or you can pour water over it and put it out. When you realize that you have the same kind of control over the human spirit, you'll know how to be happy forever. I'm not saying you will be happy forever, but you will always know how to be. And knowing that you know will make all the experiences of unhappiness feel temporary and inconsequential. Being unhappy will never feel like a big deal again because you'll experience it